Pete the Cat Snow Daze by James Dean. Pete the Cat wakes up and gets ready for school. He has show and tell today. "There is no school today," says Pete's mom. "It's a snow day." "Hooray!" yells Pete. "Let's go sledding," says Pete. "Great idea," says his brother Bob. Pete puts on his hat, boots, and mittens. "I'm ready to go," he says. On the way, Pete makes snowballs. He throws one at Bob. Bob throws one back. Pete makes a snowcat. "Snow days are way more fun than school days," he says. "Sledding hill, here we come," says Pete. He can't wait to get there. Pete waves to Callie. "Come sledding with us," he says. The hill is big. Trey and Emma look small at the top. Crunch, crunch goes the snow as Pete, Bob, and Callie go up, up, up. "Whee!" they yell as they go down, down, down. "I love snow days," says Pete. On the way home, Pete and Bob stop at Trey's house. The hot chocolate is yummy. "What a fun day," says Pete. "Tomorrow at school, I'll tell my class all about it." Pete wakes up to more snow. It's not a school day. It's another snow day. Pete makes a snow fort. He throws snowballs. He makes a snow dog. Then he has fun sledding. He can't wait to tell his teacher about it. But the next day is a snow day too. There's too much snow. Pete and Bob can barely even open the front door. "Before you go sledding, please shovel the walk," says Mom. But shoveling is hard work. When Pete is done, he's too tired to go sledding. Pete misses his teacher. He misses the other cats in his class. Pete can't wait to go back to school tomorrow. But when Pete wakes up, it's snowing. "Oh no," he says. "Not another snow day." Pete wants to go to school. So Pete plows the streets all by himself. The other cats rush outside. They help clear the snow. Everyone wants to go to school. The streets are clear and safe. The bus can drive. School is open. All the kids are excited to see their teacher. He has a snow day show and tell. When it's Pete's turn, he tells everyone about the fun he had in the snow. "I love snow days," says Pete, "but I love school best." That's the story of Pete the Cat Snow Days by James Dean. Pete the Cat Screams for Ice Cream by Kimberly and James Dean. Today is the coolest day! The Just Chilling ice cream truck is coming and Pete can't wait. Ice cream, so many flavors! Like rocking raspberry, far out fudge, and tabby twirl, cotton candy, kitty paw tracks, and rainbow swirl. Let's go bananas, unicorn blast, and sprinkles galore! There's got to be a million flavors and maybe more. Pete can't wait, and he can't be late. Hey Pete, what's your hurry? Asks Gus. I don't have time to play. Just chilling ice cream truck is coming today. I can't wait, and it's getting late. Oh no, Gus looks so lonely. Can Pete make the time? Yes, being a friend is groovy. And Pete knows it's cool to be kind. Pete stops. He and Gus have a nice chat. Thanks, Pete. You are one kind cat. Pete, what's your hurry? Asks Grumpy Toad. Sorry, I have to be on my way. Just chilling ice cream truck is coming today. I can't wait, and it's getting late. Oh no, Grumpy looks frustrated. Can Pete make the time? Yes, lending a hand is sweet. And Pete knows it's cool to be kind. Wow, they fixed the flat. Thanks, Pete. You are one kind cat. Hey, Pete, what's your hurry? Asks Callie. It's a shame I can't stay. Just chilling ice cream truck is coming today. I can't wait, and it's getting late. Oh no, the park is a mess. Can Pete make the time? Yes, working together rocks, and Pete knows it's cool to be kind. Pete and Callie clean the park just like that. Thanks, Pete. You're one kind cat. Oh no, Pete checks his watch. He did run out of time. But then, he sees the clean park, Grumpy riding his motorcycle, and Gus with a smile. Today is the coolest day. Pete is glad he took the time. And then, to Pete's surprise, the just chilling ice cream truck comes driving on by. Pete screams for ice cream. 1 scoop, 2 scoops, 3, more scoops until… Oh no, brain freeze. Ice cream is cool, but what's cooler than that? Taking your time to be one kind cat. Pete the cat goes camping. Story by James Dean. Pete is excited to go camping. This is his first time. Don't forget your sleeping bag, says Dad. Or your hiking boots, Mom says. The campsite is deep in the woods. Mom and Dad set up the tent. Pete and Bob help collect sticks so they can make a fire later. Pete and Bob go for a hike. Bob shows Pete the footprints of different animals. Do you think we will see anything cool? Asks Pete. Maybe, says Bob. Pete and his dad go fishing. They must be very quiet and very still to catch a fish. Fishing takes a long time. They finally catch some fish. Mom builds a fire. She cooks the fish for dinner. It tastes yummy. Next, Pete toasts marshmallows. Pete makes s'mores with chocolate and graham crackers. It starts to get dark out. Bob tells Pete a story about a scary, hairy giant. The giant lives in the woods. His name is Bigfoot. Do you think Bigfoot lives here? Asks Pete. No one has ever seen Bigfoot, says Bob. Don't let Bob scare you, says Dad. Bigfoot is not real, Mom says. Pete sighs with relief. But if he is real, I bet he's friendly, says Dad, and likes s'mores too. That's not scary, thinks Pete. Maybe he wants a s'more. Pete leaves one for his hairy friend. Soon, it's time for bed. Lights out, boys, says Dad.
Bob and Pete share a tent. Pete gets into his sleeping bag. It is cozy, but he cannot sleep. The woods seem extra dark, and all the sounds seem extra loud at night. Pete hears a weird swooshing sound. "What is that?" he asks Bob. "That's just the wind," says Bob. Pete hears an odd chirping sound. "What is that?" he asks out loud. "Those are just the crickets." Pete hears a strange hooting sound. "What is that?" he wonders. "That's just an owl." Pete thinks of his friend owl. Pete hears a loud snapping sound. Crack! What is that? He wonders. But Bob is already fast asleep. Pete listens carefully. Crack! Is it Bigfoot? Pete peeks outside. It's too dark to see anything. When Pete wakes up, he checks the spot where he left the s'more for Bigfoot. The s'more is gone. There is a note. It says, "Thanks for the treat." Pete shows his family. "Wow, I knew Bigfoot was real," says Bob. Pete knows Bigfoot is not scary. Just because he looks different does not mean he is scary. He even likes s'mores too.
Pete the Cat and the Cool Caterpillar by James Dean. Pete is on a bug safari. He and his friends are looking for bugs. How many bugs can they find? Callie spots a tiny black ant. "It's building an anthill," she says. "Groovy," says Pete. Gus finds a round, red ladybug in the mint patch. "It has 9 spots," says Gus. "Nice," says Pete. Marty sees a big, black spider. "It caught a fly," he says. "Neat," says Pete. Pete finds a green caterpillar in the flower pot. "I will bring it home to show Mom and Dad," he says. Mom helps Pete build a home for the caterpillar. They use a big jar. Dad puts lots of little holes in the lid for air. Pete puts the caterpillar in the jar. Pete puts some leaves in the jar for the caterpillar to eat. He adds a twig for it to crawl on. "Good night, Pete," says Mom. "Good night, Pete," says Dad. "Good night, caterpillar," says Pete. When Pete wakes up, the caterpillar is gone. Where did it go? Did it run away? "It is not gone," says Mom. "It did not run away," says Dad. "Look," they say. "The caterpillar is inside there," says Mom. "It's called a pupa." "Will it stay in there forever?" Pete asks. "No," says Dad. "The caterpillar is changing into something new." "What will it become?" Pete asks. "It's a surprise," says Mom. "We must wait and see." Pete waits. Callie comes to visit. "Did it come out yet?" she asks. "Not yet," says Pete. Pete waits some more. Gus comes to visit. "Did it come out yet?" he asks. "Not yet," says Pete. Pete waits even longer. Marty comes to visit. "Did it come out yet?" he asks. "Not yet," says Pete. Pete waits and waits and waits. Then one day something finally happens. The pupa starts to wiggle. "Something is happening," says Pete. It wiggles some more. Everyone comes over to watch. The pupa cracks open. Something is coming out. What can it be? A head pokes out, then some legs, and then 2 colorful wings. The caterpillar changed into a beautiful butterfly. "Wow," says Pete. The butterfly slowly moves its wings up and down. It is ready to fly. They take the jar to the park. Time to say goodbye, says Dad. Pete opens the lid of the jar. The butterfly flaps its wings. It flutters out of the jar and lands on Pete's nose. That tickles, he says. Then the butterfly flies up into the sky. Bye-bye, butterfly, everyone says. Let's find a new caterpillar, says Pete. Change is pretty cool. Pete the Cat, Pete at the Beach, by James Dean. It is a hot day. Pete the cat goes to the beach with his mom and his brother Bob. Let's go in the water, Bob says. Maybe later, says Pete. Bob likes to surf. He rides the big waves. It looks like fun. I'm hot, says Pete. Go in the water, says Mom. Maybe later, says Pete. Pete makes a sandcastle. His mom helps him dig. Here comes a big wave. And there goes Pete. Oh no! Where did his sandcastle go? Bob rides a big wave. Wow, says Pete. That looks like fun. Pete and his mom take a walk. They find seashells. They see a crab. Pete's feet get wet. His feet feel cool. The rest of him is hot. It is time for lunch. Pete eats a sandwich. He drinks lemonade. The sun is very hot, and Pete is very, very hot. Bob is wet and cool. Let's play ball, says Pete. No thanks, says Bob. I want to surf. Pete throws the ball. His mom catches it. Let's get our feet wet, says Mom. Well, okay, says Pete. The water is cool. It feels good. Pete goes in deeper. Bob waves to Pete. I want to show you how to surf, he yells. Pete does not say, maybe later. He says, let's do it. Lie on the board, says Bob. Pete lies on the board. Paddle, says Bob. Pete paddles out. He waits for a big wave. A big wave is coming. Stand up, says Bob. Pete stands up. Then Pete falls down. It was scary, but it did not hurt. Try again later, says Bob. Pete wants to try again now. Pete lies down again. He paddles out and waits. Here comes a wave. Pete stands up. This time, he rides the wave. Good job, says Bob. Pete wants to surf all day. Bob does too. So, they take turns. Pete and Bob rock and roll with the waves. What a great day! It is okay to be afraid, but it is more fun to surf.